We live on a planet dominated by plastic. It's in our oceans, our soil, and even our bodies. Microplastics, tiny pieces less than 5 millimeters in size, are a growing concern. They infiltrate our water sources and food chains. Their size makes them difficult to detect and remove, found in the most remote corners of the Earth. Studies show microplastics in seafood, salt, and bottled water. Microplastics enter our bodies through various pathways. We ingest them through contaminated food and water. They're small enough to be inhaled, especially in dust particles. Once inside the body, microplastics can accumulate in organs and tissues. They cross the blood-brain barrier, a protective shield that normally prevents harmful substances from reaching the brain. This is particularly concerning for pregnant women, as microplastics can potentially reach the developing fetus. The presence of microplastics in the human body is no longer a matter of speculation. Studies have found them in human blood, breast milk, and even placental tissue. These findings are concerning because they suggest that microplastics can be transferred from mother to child during pregnancy and breastfeeding. The long-term consequences of this exposure are still being investigated, but the potential for harm is undeniable. We are just beginning to scratch the surface of understanding the full impact of these tiny particles on human health. The developing brain is particularly vulnerable to environmental insults. During pregnancy, the brain undergoes rapid development, forming complex neural connections that are crucial for cognitive function, motor skills, and sensory perception. Exposure to microplastics during this critical window can disrupt these processes, potentially leading to developmental delays and neurobehavioral disorders. The blood-brain barrier, which is not fully developed in fetuses, offers little protection against these tiny invaders. While more research is needed to fully comprehend the long-term effects of microplastic exposure during pregnancy, preliminary studies on animals have shown concerning results. These studies have linked microplastic exposure to neurodevelopmental problems, including impaired learning and memory, altered social behavior, and increased anxiety-like behavior in offspring. These findings underscore the urgent need for more research into the potential neurodevelopmental consequences of microplastic exposure in humans, especially during these critical stages of development. Section 4. A legacy of microplastics, impacts on newborns. Newborns are at higher risk from microplastic exposure due to their developing organs. Studies found microplastics in meconium, indicating prenatal exposure. These particles can interfere with hormonal processes, affecting growth. Microplastics can carry harmful chemicals, increasing toxin exposure. The long-term consequences are still being unraveled, but the potential for harm is significant. Section 5. A call for action, protecting future generations. The pervasiveness of microplastics is a global issue that demands immediate attention. We must reduce plastic consumption and improve waste management systems to prevent further contamination. Investing in research to understand the long-term health effects of microplastics, particularly on newborns, is crucial. Raising awareness about this invisible threat can empower individuals to make informed choices and advocate for change. Protecting future generations from the threat of microplastics requires a collective effort. Governments, industries, and individuals must work together to reduce plastic pollution and mitigate the risks. We must prioritize the health of our planet and future generations by embracing sustainable practices and advocating for change. The time to act is now, before the legacy of microplastics becomes an irreversible burden on human health and the environment.